y'all. This is Christine Deane, the Networking Diva, and I'm excited today. Today, we're actually going to bring in one of my friends, and secret, don't tell her she's coming. Oh, no, she already knows. She is so sweet, though, and I got to tell you, every time I bump into her, I just go, you know what? We got to talk. I love spending time with her. You know when you meet those people that are just warm and fuzzy people that you just enjoy being in their company, and they're passionate about what they do and they want to help people? Yeah, that's why we brought her in. So I really want you to meet Nadya. And Nadya, welcome.
I'm warm and fuzzy.
So glad to have you here. I've been meaning to bring you on so we could let people know more about you, because anybody who hasn't met you, they need to meet you. I'm just saying. You are like this just ball of warmth, and I just love being around you. And you're just so passionate about helping people. You know, it's coaching by Nadya, but it's so multifaceted, right? Sometimes people like to just stay in their lane. You really look at somebody as a holistic person. And I love that about you. It's one of my favorite qualities about what you do. But so your titles, like seriously, you have like what? Certified life coach, right? Is that, I mean, there's just this whole list of things: health coach, fitness coach, accountability. I mean, and it's all what we need to do to kind of stay healthy, right? I mean, there's so many layers to that. So how did you get involved in all of this? What started you down this path?
All right, Christina. Well, thank you so much for inviting me. And I'm excited. And you gave quite a few of topics already for me to bounce off. Certifications, forget about them. But let me show you some of them right there on the ceiling.
Oh, she's got a whole wall of them. Look at that.
I just like to learn. I know certifications sometimes matter, but it's just something I like to learn every day. In fact, I just enrolled myself, and today is my first day of nutritional certification, nutritional coach. And the way I started, that's interesting. Like looking back at my early childhood, when I was brought up in the communism society. Now we're kind of all the same. My mom did a great job, and one of the great jobs, she will tell me not to speak up. I'm just exaggerating, of course, not to speak up and be quiet. It's safer this way. And the thing with that, unfortunately, our memories are pretty much, or beliefs are built before the age of 5. So guess what I was when I was already an adult in this new different country with a different language, with different possibilities, new family, already having children. And I'm sitting there, a 30-plus-year-old woman, thinking, wow, so is this it? That's just this moment of life when you are like, wow, this is not actually where I want to be. It's good. And it's like your inside is yearning for something bigger, better, more powerful, like your own full-blown self-expression in anything you do. And that moment, I remember, it was actually like the epiphany moment when, of course, not in real, but deep inside, like this loud voice said, you know what? You are where you need to be right now. Now, take the boat in your direction. And my next question was, thanks, universe. What is the boat? What direction do I take? And the answer is, well, you start with yourself. You start with self-love. You start with taking care of yourself. That's what I call non-negotiable wellness habits. I wrote a book about that. It's a journal. It's establishing what it is that I want through like the wellness vortex. The wellness vortex is your energetic journey through actually establishing your self-love through self-care. Know what you want on the top. Set your non-negotiable foundation of 3 pillars of health that I teach: mindset, nutrition, fitness. Then protect your boundaries. There's a lot of time management, stress management. And then the third level is where you master in your habits. So it's like behaviors, beliefs, and being. Here's the story, and that's what I do. And now I am entering the phase of accountability wellness coach. It's honestly not much of a new information. It's how do I implement all the things that I know I need to be doing. I need accountability. That's where my warm and fuzzy comes in. Okay.
Well, and we need that, right? It's so easy to say just to ourselves if we make, okay, well, oh, I don't need to do it today. I'll start tomorrow. Right? And
Mhm.
it's easy to make those excuses. So you need somebody that kind of, whether runners like having a running buddy that they get to run with, or they'll be like, hey, I want to go work out. Who wants to work out, at the gym on certain day? Something that keeps us motivated and going. Because if it's just up to me, the bonbons on the couch aren't looking so bad. Just
Yeah, yeah. And it's like that's what comes to our patterns. Sometimes we call them as beliefs or ways we have been being. And it's actually just how the brain knows. Okay, the brain knows that's what I've been doing for 40 years, for example. And it's just the best the brain knows so far. How? There's actually nothing wrong with that. It's just a memory. So if I want to be different, do different, achieve the goals and desires, how do I change that memory? And fortunately, unfortunately, it's stepping into those memories and beliefs, but it's also doing the actions. It's created by Brendan Burchard. He says create an urgency. That's actually what we don't do unless the doctor says, hey, come on, if you don't do anything, here's what's coming. Or you already know it's come, it's like hit you in the head. But if we create urgency before that actual urgency shows up, we have a chance to grow and become a better person going to bed versus when we woke up. So good.
Why wait till it's an emergency when you could actually do something preventive before then, right? And our health, really, we tend to take it for granted when we're younger. And as we get older and things start aching and we didn't take care of ourselves like we should have, we didn't wear enough sunscreen, we were out in the sun. I mean, so now we have to deal with skin cancer. I mean, there's so many things where we didn't take good care of ourselves when we were younger. So is it too late, or can we still take action?
I got a tool for you. It's never too late, by the way. I sometimes I share this story. My fitness pillar was the last one that I got under my belt as a wellness coach. And I was working pre-COVID at the gym as a fitness trainer. And I remember having a phone call with my mom. And my mom is like, hey, daughter, aren't you too old to be a fitness trainer? I was 42. Thanks, Mom. Love you. Great lesson. It's never too late. But here is the fun tool I got for you. How do I create that urgency? Because again, there's no urgency right now to have an urgency. But if I know that I want to get into that routine. So the tool it's called, by the way, it's not my tool. It's by the Positive Intelligence Training. It's called at the end of my life.
At the end of my life.
Yeah. If at the end of your life doesn't work, fine, at the end of the year. If that doesn't work, at the end of the project or at the end of this month, whatever time frame that creates that kind of mental vision for you. And at the end of my life does work. So here's the question. Imagine yourself at the end of your life. And here you are. You know you need to go work out, but you're so tired. At the end of my life, what is the best version of me is going to say what's the most important, essential, non-negotiable right now? And what is she going to say that is not important, essential, negotiable right now? You'll have an answer. Then, so that's like what's important. This is actually really good also when you have all these to-dos. I have 21 today, this morning. I think I still have 21, even though I accomplished some. You accomplished some and more coming. So
Yes.
when I look at my to-do list, it's a great question to ask. Okay, at the end of my business year, for example, or my 3-month personal goal, what is the most important, the most essential, non-negotiable today? Usually you really look at this list and you're like, this one. do that than anything else. And then when I pick that, the second tool, I love this one. I call it the sprint technique, but you can do different ways. You actually set a timer for yourself. So if it's a workout, it's a little bit easier. You can say, okay, 5 minutes, set a timer, watch your timer while moving. You can do the same thing. You communicate with your body and say, okay, 20 minutes, let's do this. We actually do this and as our business activities. We set 10-minute sprints and we do usually follow-ups because that's where, as a business owners, we don't do well. Yeah. So at the end of my life, and the sprint technique.
I used to set the timer just to get kids to clean the house. All right, next 10 minutes, everybody's cleaning. Sense of urgency? No, but yes, there was no reason for it.
It is a made up sense of urgency, but the brain is okay with that. The brain is like, oh, 10 minutes. Okay, you can actually accomplish more in this 10 minutes when you know the clock is ticking. Then, you know, you have the whole weekend. And guess what you do by the end of the weekend?
That's a great idea. I hadn't thought about that since the kids were little, but I need to start creating my own self urgency. Turn that little egg timer. I need to go get an egg timer. The last one broke. There's an excuse right there. I'll go ding, 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 ding.
What's your cell phone?
Oh, you mean the cell phone that we don't live without, that we have with us at all times? And
that has a timer on it, and you can set 10 minutes, and it's got this huge circle, and it even going to loudly yell at you when it's over. Yeah.
I need to get an obnoxious one that has a nice obnoxious ring at the end. That sounds good but there's something reassuring about the tick, 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 tick of the old fashioned timers. But, you know, I could probably get to the next generation. You know, we could do this.
Yeah. So here's the trick, by the way. So there is a little bit a catch, and it's the habit. We call it habit loop as coaches. So in the habit loop, there's some steps. But the one step that we normally don't even think about, we think about the step, oh, I'm going to go on vacation. It's a reward for me for being working so hard. Now imagine a habitual loop in our brain is milliseconds. It's like, if I'm going to say, oh, I'm going to work 10 minutes here, do laundry here, and then I'm going to vacation when? I don't even have it scheduled, but okay, in June, for example. It doesn't work for our brain to create a positive, it's called positive feedback, habit loop. So in order to create the positive loop, think about the reward that is within 30 seconds after you performed your habit. So you had you at the end of life, then you had, what's my sprint? And then as soon as the time starts obnoxiously yelling at you, you have only 30 seconds to reward yourself. How do I do that? Good job, Nadya. That's it. It worked. Yay. hop on the chairs, dance, hula dance or whatever, toothbrush dance. Go in the mirror, give yourself high five. I love this one. I always have it next to me. I even make myself to put my favorite tea in the cup. I set it down in the cup warmer. I do not allow to touch it for 10 minutes because that's my action I'm doing. I'm so excited to get the tea after 10 minutes. I'm going to do as much as I can so I can feel reward. Sure. Yeah.
So plan those rewards into your day. So every time you do something in your habit, right? And it just, even if it's just, it sounds like a mental acknowledgement, a yippee, as something that gets that adrenaline, yay, some kind of positive reinforcement throughout the day. I love that.
Yeah, it's like, what is the expression? Behavior rewarded, behavior repeated. The brain is going to say, oh, wow, I kind of like that thing, because reward is actually what it is. It's pleasure. Whatever the reward is, it's pleasure and satisfaction. Now imagine everything we actually do is kind of aiming towards feeling good, pleasure, satisfaction. So if I find the way to reward myself after a hard workout, we do high five in the, I teach workouts on Zoom, so we do it on Zoom together, and we kind of smile and sweat it together. That's actually part of reward, like celebrating as a team. So again, behavior rewarded, behavior repeated, positive habit loop.
Well, so you just mentioned about doing workouts on Zoom, and tell us more about what do you do? Because we've got all these wonderful certifications, all this education that you've brought in, right? And how are you applying it? How are you helping people? Give us some more detail. What's that look like to work with you?
I know. Yeah, yeah. Okay. So the whole program is called the Wellness Vortex, and I'll move towards fitness since you asked me. So it's the habit formation process. Step 1, foundation. Step 2, boundaries. Step 3, mastery. And it does take, some time, but it's really, the more I practice, the quicker my habits form. So the 3 pillars that I work in is positive mindset. As somebody mentioned recently, it's all about the mindset. Workouts, nutrition, I will eat better, I will do the workout or move more if my mindset in the right place. So positive mindset is important. Mindful nutrition, like really choosing, being curious what you eat, being curious how to eat, then choosing your meals, choosing the foods that are right for your body. It's almost like individualized. There's not a one diet that fits all, of course, we know that. And the conscious fitness, I like the conscious fitness pillar because I call it conscious fitness. Yes, I do teach fitness classes, but if you look at, again, formation of the fitness awareness, it's not about, I just wrote a blog post for that. It's not about formal fitness. When we think about fitness, we always think about workouts, isn't it?
Right.
But that's not where, especially for those who want to lose weight, it's only 10% of our daily energy expenditure, formal fitness. We call them formal fitness. The trick is, and that's where the awareness shows up in my movement routine, is just moving more, like fiddling around, doing things, walk and talk, kitchen circles while microwave is working, and the bathroom, if you have the father's bathroom in the office, go there, park farther. Just doing those movement routines, we actually burn 30% of calories a day, 30% of calories, correct? Yeah, daily energy expenditure by just moving more. So then when we move more, we focus on proper posture, functional movement. And then somewhere, like when I know I can block my time because I'm looking for upgrade my movement routine, then you schedule formal fitness. If I haven't worked out for a year, please don't block the calendar and go work out. You're going to give up in a week. Start by just moving more. I love this concept. So anyway, speaking of,
I love that concept. I'm thinking, yeah, I mean, how often do you sit there and you're just staring at the microwave, waiting for it to go ding? Right? What if you
watch
could
the
walk around
steps.
the island?
Yeah, it's fun. By the way, speaking of reward, when you see your steps going up, the brain is immediately being rewarded. It's so funny to notice how the steps going up with your movement, and you just feel this satisfaction arises. Okay, so fitness. A little bit of background. When I was working in the gym, I got my fitness certification. I'm teaching classes, doing some private sessions and all that, and including my own self in the past. I go to chiropractor because I did something with my shoulder. I pulled my back, and he's like, I so don't like seeing you every week. What do you do in the gym? When, especially for weekend warriors, we go, we push hard, and then we kind of sick for a few days, or we pull the shoulder. Group classes, the trainer just cannot focus on so many people. I started noticing the posture, sometimes we call it form, how to do it properly so I don't injure myself. Actually, how to move properly. That's what functional movement is. So functional 7 functional moves is squat, lunge, bending, twisting, pull, push, gait, like walking forward. So that's what the body physically does daily, functional movement. So I kind of naturally started doing the functional fitness exercises routine. So it's an exercise class that is based on this functional movement, but it's also compound, which means it's not just bicep curl. You're going to do maybe squat with bicep curl and maybe even overhead press. You engage in more muscle groups in the same period of time. That's why it's only 20, 30 minutes. Please forget about 1 hour. You can't do 7 days or 5 days a week, 1 hour. Who has that much time? But if you really do it smart in a short period of time, you can almost do it every day. I do like 5, 6. The functional fitness, I do 5, and then I do a little bit of cardio in between, like my 5Ks. So that's, the Zoom. I have my fitness is in my in-home studio. It's all for ability to do it anywhere, anytime. So I'm looking at the mat and only dumbbells, because that's what most of us have. And just jump on my Zoom. I teach different levels from limited mobility just on the chair to high impact. Balance, strength, functionality, confidence. Yeah, and the corrective exercises in there as well, kind of help our body to realign and looking confident. Ooh, that was a lot.
It is. I'm processing. My mind is going, and then you said, yeah, in like 5K in between. I was like, 5K what?
I just ran this morning, by the way. Yeah, I was like, can I run and get prepared? I think I can. I'll have more energy.
I was like, I like the way you just threw that in, like, oh, I'm just 5K in between. I'm like, what?
Yeah, well, and that's interesting. Like, I don't often run 5K. Today I did a little bit, or like walking, mostly running because of the time. But most of it is just going out for being outdoors, because I work in my in-home studio. I do everything virtual, my coaching, my fitness. I need to be out. So I network in person quite often, and I go for my 5K just to be in the nature. But it also keeps your kind of mind-soul connection with the nature.
Mm-hmm. So I'm just trying to think. I'm like, we've gotten in the habit of being on Zooms for meetings, and those of us that work from home, right? There's times that I'm like, okay, I need to get out of the house. How do you feel about turning this into a phone call? Because like you said, you can take it with you and go for a walk. People are like, I haven't done that in ages. What a great idea, right? So don't be afraid to suggest that. Somebody else might be thinking it. They just didn't, want to insult you or something, or they're not quite as bold as you are. And be bold, right? Say, you know what? Does this need to be a Zoom, or maybe this can be a phone call, right?
Or it can be
together.
Yeah, or it can be walk and talk. Right now in Dallas, we don't have too hot, so it's kind of getting there, but not yet. So in this weather, I actually say, hey, would you like to actually walk and talk? We can meet in the park and we walk whatever they can. If it's my 5K day, I will finish it. I try to schedule on the days of I do the 5K. And hold on, I had a thought. I forgot. Oh, yes. And the thought that I had, think about, like, how do I move more? So if I want, recommendation is to burn about 500 calories a day. By the way, average American eats 700 extra calories a day. Multiply 5 days, 3,500, 1 pound gained a week. 56 weeks a year, 56 pounds. What if we just move more, burn those calories? You can lose 1 pound a week. And if you gain that during COVID, I hear about 50 pounds after COVID, kind of a general number. So think about, especially when we are like busy people, tapping into another activity. I'm not talking about multitasking. So if you have a networking meeting and they're willing to go for a walk, guess what you're doing at the same time? I'm counting my steps. So you're tapping into microwave walks around the kitchen. Mm-hmm. You're cooking, but you're also moving. Or you can also watch TV and do a treadmill, or watch TV, do some stretches. Okay, so there's so many creative opportunities to tap into another activity so you can move more.
Right, that's that whole stairs instead of the elevator concept, right? Mm-hmm. Just pick those opportunities. I know there's times that I'll be doing chores around the house. It's like, well, it would be more efficient to do this, but I'll choose to do more trips down the hallway, right? Just get that little extra energy going and burn off a few more calories eventually, right?
I love my favorite is at the airport carrying the bags and going downstairs or upstairs. It's terrible, but it's like weightlifting, a little bit of cardio. and the balance.
There it is. Thanks for the reminder. I have a trip planned soon, so
There you go.
I'll be thinking about you. Be like, all right, how can I make this more difficult for myself? No, no, no. Mindset. It's not more difficult. It's healthier choices.
Yeah, how can I strengthen my body while I'm, traveling? Yeah. I
I love
remember
it.
one day I got stuck at the airport and I literally did my 5K just walking around the terminal stairs up and down. And yeah, it was my also recovery after the marathon. That was interesting. Yeah.
So what you're saying is it's not too late to start. Start small and
Mhm.
start building that in. And then when we get ready to put some big systems in place, right? And sometimes it's okay you might struggle, but if you need help, we have an accountability coach who can give you a hand with that, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I like when you said start small. I call those baby steps.
Mm-hmm.
And like again, like the fitness always comes to my mind. We have this goal of, okay, 1 hour, 3 days a week. But if I haven't done it for so long, it's just kind of a flip-flop way to start. But just baby steps, taking those additional steps a day, it's a great intentional way to bring awareness into my daily routine to move. I got another tool for you. Are you ready to hear? I love this
Okay,
one.
let's hear it.
Yeah. So this is actually for those when like it's hard, it's tough to start. The tool is called When Then. Okay.
When
When
then?
then. So it's like you are attaching. So imagine a chain, right? So you have already a habit that you're doing. I'm going to give the funniest example, at least for me. You're going to the bathroom, right? It's the
Yep.
habit that you're already doing. Current habit. When I finish my bathroom deal, then you're going to link a new desired habit. I will do 5 push-ups on the wall, or I will hold
Okay.
squat for 30 seconds.
All right. So attach something you're already doing
Mhm.
consistently, and then attach something else to it that gives you a little bit more activity, and then start building that habit.
And the third link of this will be reward yourself. So it's like when, then, after, I will give myself high five in the mirror. Remember, reward behavior, rewarded behavior repeated. It's the satisfaction of, feeling good that you performed that. It's not about doing the habit. It's about the feeling the reward of it. In fact, when we were discussing the journal, she said, I just don't, you have this question, what I'm excited about. I'm not excited about doing these steps. But then she realized, because I'm excited to feel satisfied when I'm doing or have done the steps. So it's not the satisfaction sometimes of the activity, it's the way I feel when I do the activity. And then you naturally start actually looking forward to an actual activity. That's when it becomes your habit. You're going to say, Nadya, don't talk to me about water. I got it.
Like, all right.
Your wheels are turning. That's
You see the little wheels turning in my head. Yep, I'm exactly. I'm like, okay, what can I attach that to? Okay, kind of like you wake up, you brush your teeth, and like maybe you add in those push-ups against the wall, like you're talking about, and then maybe you go have breakfast. I don't know. There's got to be other things that are in your ritual already, and then you just need to attach little things to it. So attach one. Do that to the point that it feels natural. You don't even have to think about it anymore. Then attach another one, right? And just keep adding those in. And then somebody's going to come visit you at your home, or they're going to think you're absolutely nuts. Because you've got your systems in place, right?
Yeah. Well, and that's where boundaries come in. So you kind of get in your systems in place and you say, okay, this is working. And then it's really important. That's why, like in the center of the vortex, I have this little funnel or tunnel. So that's where you really be truthful to yourself, and what makes you powerful is your successful support system. And you do it for yourself first of all, but it's also accountability with others. It's your life. And it's like the example, one of the books, he gave an example of water pump. Building a habit, it's like pumping the water. You're pumping it, and it's so annoying. Nothing is coming out, not even a sound. You're doing the same Nadya said exactly motion. But guess what happens after a while? You start hearing those bubbles. That's where momentum picks up. Then the water comes out. But guess what? So the water comes out and then becomes like, okay, I'm feeling it. It's kind of a part of me. I don't have to be reminded, but you can't really stop pumping. You have to still, it's not as much effort. It's kind of on its own, but you still have to keep almost like watering the plants. Plants are blooming, but you still have to water and nurture so the habit continues. Okay, so not 100% loosening it, but just enough to be aware that successful system is still in place. Make sense?
Yep. Woo! You got me. All sorts of possibilities. You're going to call me next week and be like, Christine, what new steps did you put in place? And I'd be like, okay, accountability partner.
Well, and that's why I did, in fact, the conscious fitness training comes this Friday. So if somebody is interested, they can just send me a message. It's just for my members, but if guests coming, it's complimentary for them. And I did this training a couple of times in the groups that I lead. And someone asked me about those 3 phases. And I said, you know what? At the beginning, this foundational phase, when you pump your water and it's just nothing comes out, that's when it's really good to have sometimes one-on-one support with a coach, because the coach is going to be your cheerleader. It's going to like, hey, it's going to give you reward. It's going to give you the structure to follow the process. But then when the bubbles are coming out, okay, it's getting more natural, you can join the group. So it's like picking up the momentum. You can say, you know what, I may let go one-on-one and join the group support. And then on top, where you really achieve a mastery of this habit, you can say, you know what, I may not need that support, or that's why on demand, the opportunities exist in the courses. They can just join on demand and do it on their own at their own pace.
All right. So anybody that's maybe given this a try and then fallen off and tried and fallen off, or they've gone up and away and down and way up, right? We need to get some good habits in place, right? So if they want to reach out to you, is the best way to just send them to the website?
Probably so, yes. coachedbynadya.com. There's a link, talk to me. So if you have any questions, just feel free to send me the note with your questions. And the book is there as well. The book I created real quick. It was actually my own questions I designed for myself when I was going through personal challenges in life, where those challenges are sometimes you want to pull your hair out of your head. And I knew that I needed to take care of myself. I'm a coach, but I'm also a human being. And I was using those questions from my coach too, and adjusted them for myself to help me be sane and take care of my body physically, emotionally. So it's a daily journal, basically, that is focused on self-care while you're tackling important part of your life. And it's like having a personal coach at your fingertips. So it's really a fun journal.
All right. So how do we get the journal?
Yeah, the link is on the website. That's why I started saying about it.
All right. So go to the website. You can reach out to Nadya. You can check out her journal if that's what you want. If you want to explore, it sounded like you had some group coaching options, some one-on-one coaching options. So don't be afraid. You can see she's nice. I love Nadya. So just reach out and have a fun conversation with her. Talk to her about your goals, right? We all need motivation sometimes. So if you're looking for that accountability partner, here you go. Don't call me. Be like, let's go sit on the couch and have bonbons. No.
Hey, we can be in the group. Yeah, we can support each other. And I'll just be the one who's pushing everyone forward.
Absolutely. I love it. Thank you so much, Nadya, for coming on, talking to us, giving us some different things to think about, right? Okay, everybody listening, your challenge is think about one thing you can do to add to your current routine that you're already doing that'll just get you moving a little bit more. Okay, so something you do every day. And then now you're going to tack on just a little something that's going to get you moving, and then reward yourself with a little something.
Yeah, you got it.
All right, that's our goal. Everybody, I want to hear it. So
All
when
right.
you do it, reach out to Nadya and say, I tried it. This is what I did. It was fantastic. Or Nadya, I really tried. I did, but I fell off the wagon. Can you give me some advice? Right? Either way, we want to hear about it. Tell us that, let us know that her advice gave you at least a jump start and get you moving again. I love it. Thank you so much, Nadya.
Thank you, Christine. This was fun. Thank you, everyone.
We'll have you on again. We'll talk soon. Thanks, Nadya. So that's another episode of the Networking Diva, getting connected with Christine Deane. Thank you so much for joining us. And we are so excited. We like to have fun people. We like to have people that are all about building community. And that's exactly why we had Nadya on today. So feel free to reach out to her. We are so excited. So if you want to talk what's good for you, what's good for your community, how to build those relationships, you want to talk about networking, marketing, small businesses, this is the space I love to play in. If you want to be on the show, reach out and let's talk. Talk to you soon.